Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. So this is a part 2 of a video that I did all about finding a nanny, the right questions to ask, how much is it to go the agency route, because that is what we did. And yeah, so in this video I'll be covering my experience with an agency. I don't know if this applies to all nanny agencies. This is the experience that I had with the agency that I used, and I'll be discussing things like how much it was and the process, just everything. So if this is a video that you think you'll be interested in, please stay tuned in. Okay, so without wasting further of any of your time, if you haven't seen part 1, please go watch part 1. Actually, you can even watch part 1 after this. Part 1, I give you guys tips or the kind of questions that you can ask and why you need to ask those questions when you are interviewing someone, whether you're interviewing a live-in nanny or a live-out nanny. Right now, currently obviously we're under lockdown, and I thank God, by the grace of God, I managed to find a nanny just before the lockdown started, right? Initially we wanted someone to come in every day because we live in a very small apartment. We wanted someone to come in every day, and that's called a live out nanny, but that was not possible. We opted to go for a nanny because with my first son, I was able to stay home with him for 18 months, and with Anaya, my maternity leave is for 4 months, so I would either have to send her to school or have someone to come and look after at home, and we opted for having someone to look after her at home. And I obviously my initial thing would have been to get a referral, right? But all the referrals that I was getting were somebody who I know somebody's sister who would get up one, and I was like, no, I need a referral to say this is a person that worked for us and this was our experience with them, and I wasn't getting that. So that made me feel a bit uneasy. So I'm like, okay, let me opt for an agency. A friend of mine, Lily, you guys have seen her on the channel, she was like, oh, there's this agency that I'm using, and it is called Saving Grace Nanny Agency. I'll put down the link in the description box below. Obviously this video is not sponsored because we are not there yet. One day guys, I'll get sponsorships. This video is not sponsored, right? So this agency is called Saving Grace Nanny Agency, and they have a Facebook page and they have great reviews. That's also another thing, they have really great reviews. And yeah, I'll pop them an email. Hi, I saw your Facebook page and I'm looking for a live out nanny. And what they do is they'll send you how their agency works. So you need to pay a deposit. I think, yeah, deposit is around like 300 rand just for them to do the paperwork and all of that. And then you need to fill out a form and tell them what it is that you want, which is what I think I loved about using an agency, that you can almost tailor make and get someone specific to your needs. So obviously back before the lockdown, we wanted someone to live out. We wanted someone close to where we stay because then I don't want to have transport issues. I wanted a person between the age of, I think I said 35 and 45, so I didn't want someone too young, I didn't want someone too old, and I wanted someone that has CPR or any child training, but I just put their CPR. So another thing to keep in mind, the more you add to your list, the more expensive the person is going to be, or the more you'll have to pay the person. So if you want someone, for instance, that has done a course in night training, or somebody that can train a baby to sleep, you can say that and they'll find someone specific, but just know that you're going to pay more, right? If you want someone to come maybe 3 times a week, if you want someone to come 2 times a week, you need to say that, right? So you put that down, and then what they do then is send you different CVs. Now from the 300 you can only interview 3 ladies, so you'll look at their CVs. And also you can also say that you want a person with maybe 3 years and above experience, or you can say that I want someone that has looked after a newborn, because my daughter is a newborn. Like, you can go in, guys, and this is what I loved about using an agency. And then from there, then they'll give you, based on your criteria, based on what you asked for, they'll send you CVs, and from the CVs, and you'll say to them that these are the ladies that I want to interview, right? And then it's pretty simple as that. And then also another thing to keep in mind, and when it comes to payments, right, when it comes to money, you'll have to, when you interview the ladies, you'll have to pay them for their transport, nothing more than 50 rand. For them to come and go. You can decide where you want to have the interview, whether you want to have an interview in your home, whether you want to meet them at a restaurant. So I was doing the interviews way before the lockdown, right? So I opted to have the person in my house, just to also see how they interact with my kids. And yeah, so that's that. And then another step you can do is you can ask for a trial, right? So there are a few ladies that I really liked, and I wanted them to come for a few hours, not a full day. So maybe from like 7 to 1, and just see. No, actually she did a full day trial, let me not lie. She did a full day. She came from 7 till 4, and I wanted to see how she would balance the newborn and cleaning the house as well, and just how I was with her. And this, you'll have to pay the person per their day's work, and that's usually like 200 rand, or, and then I think, yeah, so I think I gave her 250 to go home for transport as well. So that was a day's work. And then after that, then you'll tell the agency that, oh, I really like this person. If you don't, then you can ask them for more CVs, and then I think you have to pay like 100 rand for each CV, guys. And like I said, I don't know if any other agencies work this way, but this is how this agency works. Then you'll pay maybe 100 rand to say, no, I would like to interview more people. But this is after you've seen your 3. So if you've interviewed 3 ladies and you didn't like any of them, remember you pick them according to the CV. If you don't like any of them, then you'll have to pay extra to see more people. Then you like the lady, and you'll be like, oh yay, okay, cool, I love this person, it's a match, we're good to go. And then what you need to do is pay a placement fee. Placement fee, I don't know if I'm allowed to say what the placement fee is, so I'm going to give you a ballpark, right? Placement fee can be between 3,000 rand and 4,000 rand, and that's your once-off fee. The placement fee gives you a guarantee, so you can decide to say, after a month, this person has worked here and it's not working, I need you to find me someone else. And they will find you someone else, and you don't have to pay another amount, and this person then will come in and work for you for a month, right? Or then another, so you get guarantee. You have a 1 month guarantee, you have a 2 months guarantee. The 2 months guarantee means that you're going to pay more in terms of the placement fee, and yeah, and that's in terms of placement fee, that's how much you'll pay, between 3,000 rand and 4,000 rand if you do like that person. But that's it, you're not paying, and they're not going to take from your helper's salary either, right? So once you've said this is the person we like, you pay them, and that's it, you're done. Unless of course you're having issues and you want them to find someone else, then they can do that, which is another thing I liked about using an agency. And then in terms of salary, when they give you the CV, the ladies will say how much that they would like, right? And the agency will say, in terms of minimum wage, this is how much we recommend that you pay. So you're looking at paying, you're not going to find anyone less than 4,000 rand per month. So most of the ladies that I saw, and this is full-time nannies, live out and live in, was between 4.5 and then upwards, right? So just keep that in mind, that that's how much you need to budget in terms of paying someone. Nothing less than 4.5 if you want someone full-time, that is. Obviously if you want someone to come in twice a day, twice a week, whatever, that's a different about. So you're looking at starting 4.5 upwards. That's how much you're going to pay, and then you will sign, the agency will then give you a contract. You can amend the contract and change whatever you want to change, and you and your employer will sign that contract. That contract would stipulate that this person is allowed this and this many sick days, this person is allowed this and many leave, because they're not slaves, guys. I think a lot of people think nannies are slaves, so they also need time to take a break. So all of those things will be in there in terms of your bonus. You guys can discuss that. Not everybody will expect a bonus, but I think it'll be nice. Obviously, if you don't get a bonus, where's that money gonna come from? But that's a story for another day. But that's what you will discuss with your helper. So you guys have a contract and you sign on the contract, and yeah. So so my daughter, right, was born in January, 22nd of Jan, and my plan, I'm going back to work beginning of June. So my plan was to get someone for about 2 months so that I'm comfortable by the time that I go to work, right? So this person, so like I said, we looked for a live out nanny because our place is not very big. So this person was supposed to start beginning of April. Did the interviews, found a lady that we loved, and she, like I said, she had small children and she was going to be a live out nanny. Then lockdown happened. Then I didn't feel comfortable. Besides the fact that she wouldn't be able to come to work every day, I didn't feel comfortable with her using public transport and risk obviously catching, you know, the unspoken disease. I can't speak of it because YouTube might remove my video. And I was like, sure, okay, that's risking it, so that's out the window, which sucked really. And I said to the agency, I was so desperate. I said, listen, on the Monday, I'm like, babes, I need your help. And I'd already paid the placement fee. Because we found the person and we were happy. And yeah, she was just like, okay, we need to wait and see. And then when they announced the lockdown on the Monday, the lockdown was going to happen on the Thursday. On the Monday and the Tuesday, we interviewed people. Then we found someone on the Tuesday, and she basically moved in on the Thursday, and we're good to go. Guys, most of the ladies at these agencies are really nice. They're really sweet. Yeah, so that's a good thing about using an agency, that I had someone that I can go to, and they have quite a they have a number of people. Unlike if you go in with a referral and you love someone, what are the chances of you finding someone else? And I was desperate, and I was just like, I can't imagine going to work and leaving my child with someone that I don't trust and that I don't know, and which is why I wanted to give myself 2 months, right, before I go to work. Now obviously with the situation with the lockdown, you guys need to follow this agency. You need to follow Saving Grace agency, because what they're doing now is that they've been issued a essentials work permit. So what they're doing is, you can still find a nanny, but preferably someone that's going to be live-in, because we don't know what the issue is going to be with the lockdown in terms of people traveling to work. So what they're doing is still finding moms, find live-in nannies, and how the interviews are going to work is that you're going to have video interviews. I think you're going to have 2 or 3 interviews. I'm not quite sure. Like I said, I'll leave a link and you can go on their page, and they're quite consistent in putting updates in terms of how they're working during the lockdown. So if there's a mom out there that's desperate and you're worried and you have no idea what you're going to do after the lockdown, or even now you're just like, I'm seeing flames, because chances are you had a live out nanny and she's staying at home and you need someone desperately, this is the agency, and you can do your telephonic or your video call and do the interview with the people. Yeah, so please follow the link and ask as many questions. Ask them as many questions. The lady who runs the agency, her name is Jade, and she's very prompt, guys. She's very quick. Like, I was emailing her at like 10 and I'm freaking out, like, what am I going to do? And she was responding. Obviously, this is not to say that now you must send her emails at 10, but all I'm saying is that she's on the ball. So yeah, guys, I really hope that you found this video really helpful. And if you're a mom looking for a nanny, I just recommend going the agency route. And yeah, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and share and comment. Subscribe, guys, subscribe and share. I'm pretty sure that there are moms out there who are seeing flames. We are all seeing flames. If you're a mother or a father, we are all seeing flames. Oh, by the way, the agency is based in Johannesburg, but I'm not quite sure if they can help with if you're in Durban or in Cape Town. That is something that you'll have to find out. And either way, if they can't, I'm sure there's a lot of nanny agencies in your area. But yeah, guys, see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Love. Bye, guys.